What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2001 movie American Pie 2. So in this movie the whole gang are back and as close as ever, and they decide to get even closer by spending the summer together at a beach house. And they decide to hold the biggest party ever to be seen, even if the preparation doesn't always go to plan, especially when Stifler, Finch, and Jim become more close to each other than they ever wanted to be, and when Jim mistakes super glue for lubricant. So, this is a really fun sequel. I think it's really a good sequel to the first American Pie movie and everything. They did a pretty good job at bringing back the cast and keeping that chemistry that they had in that first movie. And the story is pretty good too. I think it's got a pretty decent story. The setting and summer setting is really good too, and they got a lot of really fun moments getting this beach house set up, or lake house set up, and everything. And yeah, it's a beach house, and they do a good job with that, getting it set up and everything, and making these characters really anticipate this party and everything that they're going to have and throw, and they do a good job with that. And the cast in here are all, once again, just excellent. Everybody is just as good this time around as they were the first time, especially, once again, Jason Biggs and Allison Hannigan, who just have really, really great chemistry together and are both really, you want to see them get together by the end of the movie, and their relationship is really fleshed out and well written in this movie. Like, he kind of goes to her for help on trying to be good at having sex and stuff because he's comfortable with her, and as the movie goes on, their relationship progresses and stuff, and I think that was done really well and everything. And I thought it was cool that they brought Elizabeth Shannon back in a small role and everything to kind of bring her in to be the reason why he wants to go to her and everything, go to Allison Hannigan's character and stuff. So I thought that was really cool too. And the jokes in here are hilarious in here, especially the stuff with Jim gluing himself to himself. That whole scene just had me dying laughing and everything. But even the scene at the beginning of the movie when Jim's dad walks in, like, anytime Jim's dad is on screen, I just about die laughing. Eugene Levy is, I forgot how hilarious he is in these movies, and this one especially, he's really hilarious in. He does a really, really great job in it, and everything had me dying in here. And I never give that man credit for being as funny as he is, because he is an absolute gem, and he is hilarious in this movie. I absolutely love him in here. And there are a lot of good heartwarming moments in here too, like especially the scene with Jim and his dad. Even though Jim's dad embarrasses the crap out of him at the hospital after he glues himself to himself and everything, he still tells his dad like he's a great dad, and he's really grateful that he's so cool about everything, that he's always getting in these situations. He's like, I don't know how I get in these situations, but I'm so grateful that you're so cool about it and stuff. It's a really great moment between father and son. I just love that and everything. There's a lot of other really great moments too. Tara Reid's character and is just wanting to be just friends with Thomasine and Nicholas's character. I never can remember the characters' names, but aside from Jim, and the only reason I remember his name is because Jim's dad is what Eugene Levy is called in the movies. But when he wants to be with her, she wants to be friends, and he has to come to accept that they can only be friends and stuff, which is really relatable for me in a situation I've gone through recently. So I'll say that I really like that too and everything. And there is a lot of good to love about this movie. Like I think this has a lot of good heart and humor, just like the first movie did and everything. And the music is great too. I will say it's got a pretty good soundtrack and everything. It takes me right back to the early 2000s, especially the song that plays at the end of it. I never Keep From Going Under or something like that. I don't know if that's the name of the song, but I love that song. It's really catchy and everything, and I just love the nostalgia I get when I watch this movie, which I do a lot when I watch early 2000s movies. Everything. This movie takes me right back to 2001. I remember when this movie first came out and everything. And while this is a really fun time, the only negative I will say is it could have been a little bit better. The humor isn't quite as strong as it was in the first one at times and everything. They have their moments where they are gustingly funny, but it's not quite as funny as the first one at times and everything. And but all in all, I'll say American Pie 2 is a really good sequel. It's way better than it could have been, and as far as comedy sequels goes, this is one of the better ones and everything. I don't think it's quite as good as the first, but it's a solid good time, and that's all it really needs to be anyway. It doesn't have to be better than the first. Not every sequel needs to be better than the first. You can have sequels that are just good times. I mean, it's always cooler when they're better than the first, because it really gives them reasons to exist and stuff. This one doesn't necessarily have to exist, except that the first one was a huge hit and everything, but I'm glad that it does, because this is a fun franchise, and I have fun with all the American Pie movies, at least to an extent, and this one I feel like is still pretty fun and everything, so I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. It's not quite as good as the first one, but it's still pretty good, and I think it deserves a little bit more credit than it gets. People don't talk about the sequels to American Pie near as much and everything, although I know everybody that watches the first one usually watches all of them and has marathons with them, but they don't talk about them as much, which is weird. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of American Pie 2, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.